What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Awesome Nerd Show. Today we're finally looking at the Masters of the Universe Origin figures. So we've had a lot of these figures, like the Waves, for quite a while now, and we've just kind of had them sitting around, but we're finally starting to get to them. And we're starting off with Wave 2 since we opened Wave 1 a while ago and used it in the Castle Grayskull set. So you can check out that video, but Wave 2 here is pretty cool. So for the good guys, we've got Orko and Manny Faces, so two cool characters. I always loved Orko, so getting him is cool. And then for the bad guys, we've got Trapjaw and Scarecrow Glow. So two figures we've looked at before, especially with Trapjaw from that exclusive like Target pack, and we've looked at Scarecrow Glows before. But Manny Faces and Orko are two new characters I've not looked at before, so that's going to be exciting to finally see some new things there. But overall, these look really cool, and I'm excited to check them out. So let me go and get them out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Orko, as I mentioned, one of my favorite characters from when I watched He-Man. But Orko is a male Trollian wizard and is considered the royal buffoon of the king's court, and he's also a close friend of Prince Adam. But in the series, we see that he's a powerful magician with abilities, but he doesn't always cast spells correctly because there's a difference in the laws of nature and physics on Eternia compared to his home planet of Trollia. So he's kind of seen as an incompetent buffoon and sort of like the silly comedy character and everything, but overall he is a powerful wizard, and I think it looks pretty awesome here. So we have him in his form as he looks in the classic 80s cartoon. It just looks pretty awesome. So he's got the nice wizard head on, of course, with point, the two ears sticking out, and of course we never really see his face. He's just got this all black face, but you can see the yellow eyes in there, which is cool. The pink like scarf wrapped around his face, the red shirt with the O on there for Orko, and then he's got weird like blue hands and stuff that match his ears as well. And then he's on this cool base that I went ahead and just popped him on, so we have a base with like his magic spells and stuff underneath him in the purple, but then has this little like flight sand piece that you can pop him on. You can just sort of adjust it wherever. I like to put it to the front where you can like barely see any of the thing there, so it looks just like the magic's coming out from underneath him. But overall, he looks really cool. Now for movements, that can move back and forth, so it's really loose in the neck, but you can look down, look up there, so really good. And of course twist easily side to side, but then the arms can come up 90 degrees, rotate around there as well. We get the single elbow joint that bends about 90 there, maybe even if that, but has rotation there as well. And then we get the hands that can rotate around and flex back and forth. And now for him, that's really all the movements there are, because he doesn't really have anything else. But for the flight stand, he does have movements where he can go back and forth, of course twist around there as well, and then same with the lower joint, so it can move back and forth and twist around as well. So overall, I really like this design. I really like the Orko just look overall, but I do feel he's a little bit too big, especially compared to like other figures, but you know, that's just the way they designed him. But I do know my brother got this little Orko figure, I forget what it's even from, but it's just a little thing because he says it feels this much more like to the size that Orko should be, especially compared to the other He-Man characters, so he uses this for its display. But it's awesome to have this Orko here as well, since it is just the normal one. And of course all these characters came with the comics, but of course I forgot to grab any of the comics, so I don't have them. But it's just awesome that as a comic that includes all the characters from this wave, so that is pretty awesome as well. And it's unfortunately he doesn't really come with any other accessories. I thought it'd be cool if he had just like a magic wand or just something to give to him to put in his hands and stuff instead of just the base, but that's really all he comes with. So not much for the character itself, but I really do like the look, and it's definitely my favorite character of the wave. And next up for the good guys, we have Manny Faces, which was an actor that used different faces to play different roles on stage for the royal court. And so he has three different faces. So as you see him here, he has a human face, which in this form he's a skilled warrior. And if we switch it to the robotic face, he's intelligent and has the ability to trace targets. And finally, if we go to the monster face, he has superhuman strength and senses as well as claws. So it's awesome to have the faces there that you can just switch out, but I don't really like the look and design of like the robotic and the monster face, so I just like the normal human face the most. And overall, he looks pretty cool. So he's, you know, this big like muscly man stuff. Of course, all the He-Man characters have muscles, but he's got the abs, the pecs, and everything, the big muscles there. But he's also very robotic, so he's got this big coarse headpiece that allows him to change his faces, and I like the tubes wrapping around and the canisters there on the front. And then like I said, these robotic, so it looks like he's got mostly robotic arms with like some skin attached on top of it, some blue under there with some purple, and some boots that go all the way up his legs with some purple on it there, and then just some normal looking boots. So overall, very nice design. I like the blue and purple and pink sort of colors mixed in with the orange of the skin color. I really think it just stands out really well. So for movements, of course, we have the head that can switch in the faces, but that's really the only movements we have in there. The shoulders can come up about 90 degrees there and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that just bends a little bit back and forth there, but to 90 degrees, and has the rotation. The wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. He's got a twist at the waist, so he can twist all the way around there. Hips can come up a little bit out to the side that far. A single knee joint that bends there and has the rotation, and then the foot can flex a little bit back and forth. Unfortunately, because of like the boot design don't get too much movement. So not horribly designed overall. And then for his accessory, he comes with a small blaster piece here, so this orange blaster that we can pop into his hand. So there is Manny faces with the blaster, and overall I think he looks pretty cool. Like I said, I do like the design of like the colors and everything, but I just feel he's a little bit boring. And then for our first bad guy, we've got Trapjaw, which is a cyborg evil warrior and considered to be a wizard of weapons with a robotic arm that can use a wide range of different weapons. So he looks pretty cool overall. And of course, we've seen Trapjaw before, and very similar, of course, in that Target exclusive pack with his pre-version of Trapjaw. But overall, looks pretty cool. So he's got the nice blue skin, and I like the colors, of course, with like the pink sort of helmet design that really stands out that goes into his jaw piece, and then the neon green for like the face and stuff there. Those just colors just really stand out. We see he's got neon green belt, black boots that go up his legs with some neon green on him. He's got the pinkish sort of underwear there, some green on this one arm, and then of course his whole robotic arm. So I like the big cybernetic like piece attached onto here that goes into the robot arm. That looks really cool. And I just went ahead and put the hook hand on him already. So overall, he just looks really cool. But he's got a sharp jaw for deadly bites, so he's got the jaw there that can move. Put it down like that, it kind of looks really weird. But he does have the sharp jaw. He's got the loop up on his helmet that he can slide down wires, so he can shoot a wire across and then slide down with that loop, which is cool. And then he's got the different arm pieces that he can switch out. So then, as I mentioned, I went ahead and just have the hook on him. So for movements that can twist all the way around, he can look down that far and up that far. So just a little bit of rocking back and forth. For his arms, for this arm can just rotate all the way around, and then it's got the elbow joint so it can bend up there and has the rotation as well. And then with the hands designed themselves, you can just twist them around, so they have the twist in there as well. But for the other arm, it can actually come up to 90 degrees there, rotate around, has the single elbow joint that bends 90 with the rotation, and then the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. We have the twist at the waist, so we can twist all the way around there, of course hidden by the belt. The legs can come up a little bit out to the side that far. He's got the single knee joint that bends that far with the rotation, and then the same sort of foot movement, just a little back and forth because of the design. So again, overall not a bad figure, but he comes with different accessory pieces. So we have the hook hand there. We also get a claw hand, so with these they just easily just slide right out, and you can just slide the different one right back in there. But with these, we'll go and just put him on his belt. So here on his belt, he does have these little loop pieces, and they have these sort of like little hook designs there at the top that you can just take and slide down. It is hard to get them into the loops just with the design. I feel the loops are too skinny at the top, but they get them to slide down, and you just slide them in there, and then same on the other side. So those two pieces just hang on for the back of his belt there. And his final accessory is the gun piece that we'll go ahead and just put right on. So there he has the gun on his hand as well, which is pretty cool, and the way I always like to have Trapjaw. So there's Trapjaw with the gun in his hand, and he just overall looks pretty cool, ready to bite some people. And our final character of the wave is Scarecrow Glow, which is a skeletal ghost warrior with bones that emit a strong glow to intimidate its opponents. So of course we've covered Scarecrow Glow multiple times already, especially with the Masterverse line. So I've already went through it multiple times, but it looks pretty cool overall. You know, he looks a little bit weird. They, tried to make him look skeletonish, especially so he has like the same body design, pretty much Skeletor's body, but he has sort of the like see-through yellowish that does glow in the dark, and I have seen it, so it does actually work and glow in the dark. And then they switched out his head, so he's got this giant head for a skull, which looks a little bit too weird. There you can kind of see some of him glowing in there, but the skull I think just looks way too big, but it looks cool. So it's very skeletonish, so he has like the mouth design of skeleton, the red eyes down in the black, and a little crack there on his head, and then just all skeleton body again with the black painted it to look like bones going down his legs and on his chest. And for the outfit though, he does have this purple cape on, so this purple cape with a nice like texture design into it and stuff looks very nice overall, with a piece that goes around his neck to help hold it on. And he's got like the Skeletor underwear there in the purple with so like the belt piece and the fur, and then the Skeletor boots as well with the like the web toes there, so he's got 3 toes, and then like the cool design texture put into it and stuff there in the purple as well. So overall he looks nice. Now for movement, his head can twist a little side to side, of course with the cape has some limitations, but can look up that far and down that far, so some decent movements there for him. Shoulders can come up 90, rotate around within there, get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with the rotation, and the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Twist at the waist, so he can twist all the way around there. Hips can come up a little bit out to the side that far. He's got the single knee joint that bends up and has the rotation in it, as well as a shin twist at the top of the boot, and then the foot flexes back and forth and can twist side to side. So really good movement since he doesn't have the obstruction that the other characters had. But unfortunately with this character, and an issue I've had with other versions of the Origins, is that they do have some issues standing. Like I feel their joints get a little bit too loose and they don't just stand up as well. And then I feel for him with the cape, it kind of weighs him down too much, so he does have some issues standing, so I kind of have to have him leaning forward a little bit. And finally he comes with his weapon of the Scythe of Doom. Of course we've seen this before, but in a nice very bright green color, so stands out, almost looks like the glow in the dark color, but very nice Scythe of Doom there for him. So let's pop this in his hand. So there he's got the scythe, and that looks cool overall there for Scarecrow Glow. Well, there we got our Masters of the Universe Origins Wave 2 figures, where we got Orko and Manny Faces for the good guys, and Trapjaw and Scarecrow Glow for the bad guys. So all these characters are pretty cool, and like I said, Orko's definitely my favorite. But let me know which figure is your favorite down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with the thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.